Welcome back to another episode of the High Altitude Show. I'm your host with the most, the often imitated, never duplicated, Dr. BoA, aka Book of AlphaRonomy, here in the Alpha Sphere, once again to get it in with the Alpha Men. What's going on, my brothers? Good to see everybody in the joint, man. Appreciate y'all coming through this pre-lunch time episode of the show. I appreciate all the brothers being in, man. I see the homies, Julie, and I appreciate the super chat brother. Brown Hornet 1975. I appreciate the super chat, brother. It's been a while since I called a live stream. Salute to the good doctor. Good to have you in the joint with us, brother. The homie Roastrumentals. I appreciate the $10 super chat, brother. Say, let's get it. Indeed, my brother. Let's get it. A couple of homies just coming in. The Rouge Line. Like they're just not GMB channel off, man. The homie says. KZ, what's good, man? Trav, Renzel, JR, Abdullah. All right, man. We're going to get in here, man, and we're going to talk about it, man. Atlas, G. Allen, Ray Rizzle, Mr. Beasley. Good to see you in the joint, bro. Been a minute. Amesh Yah. All the brothers in the building, man. So let's chop it up, man. You know, man, just listening to what brothers talk about and how brothers feel about the things they talk about, we as black men have a lot of lies that we're believing. And the crazy thing is, we're not even being victimized by the system with our lies anymore. We believe these lies, and they are our lies that we created. We created these lies. We perpetuate these lies. And we attempt to hold one another's feet to the fire to believe these lies, to accept these lies. And that's simply not what we should be doing here. Now, I'm going to start this thing out by saying, man, this thing probably going to hurt a few feelings or put some of these emotional cats even deeper into their emotions. So you might hear a couple of these cats, maybe make a response video. But I'm telling you right now, so everybody in here know, this is not a direct attack on anyone. So whoever responds with some angst is just an emotional being. You understand? He's a feminine emotional being. And that's okay. We all have our issues to deal with. You understand what I'm saying? So this is me talking to my brothers from a level of understanding that the Most High has granted me, that I pray for every day, that I thank him for every day. Wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. He gives me enough of that where I don't ask him for anything else. So let's talk about this thing, man. The lies we tell ourselves as black men. The self-created lies we must stop believing as black men. You see, it's one thing to be lied to by someone else who is hiding the truth from you, where you have no choice but to believe the lie because it is presented to you as the truth and you have no other way to know if it is false or not. It becomes a much deeper issue when you are the perpetuator of your own lies, when you are the one who concocts the lies that you believe, and then you perpetuate them among other brothers, and you perpetuate them among the so-called black community, which is non-existent, by the way, and this list will tell you why the black community is non-existent. Because of the lies we tell ourselves as black men. You notice I didn't mention black women. It is up to us. We're the ones who's supposed to be in control. But I'm tired of this cat fighting this and all this crap, man. We got to sit down and we got to talk like men right now. All the emotion out of it. All the I need to defend myself against these dudes. All that out of it. Right now, I'm finna talk to you like we all need to talk to each other like a grown man that ain't in his feelings about nothing. Nothing that got nothing to do with these niggas anyway. So let's get into this, man. The first lie that we tell ourselves, and I hear it perpetuated all around, is that we can somehow compete financially as a group in this country. As a group. Now, there are pockets of us, there are individuals who can make way and make something happen. But let's take the hip hop industry for a minute, since it is one of the most lucrative industries that black men have been involved in this country. Why is it that after all of this time, only one man who's rooted in that environment has become a billionaire? Don't you think Diddy should be a billionaire by now? Maybe Luther Campbell should be a billionaire. Maybe Jermaine Dupri should be a billionaire. Let's talk about all of the billions of dollars these men have generated for the industry. Out of all of those billions, Jay-Z has one. Where are the other billions? Who has them? Who has them? I see who has them. Not us. You see, even in industry where we dominate the landscape, where we are solely responsible for the generation and continued perpetuation and continued increase of the income, we still only glean the bottom and get the peanuts. So competing in this society as black men, competing financially, it's the craziest thing in the world. It is virtually impossible. It is an idiot's mindset. I don't understand how a man can believe that. Now let me tell you something else. How we gonna catch up to some people that got a 400-year head start on us? It ain't like they stopping. It ain't like they got 400 years ahead and did like the rabbit in the tortoise race, just sat there and took a nap and wait for us to catch up. They still moving forward. So terms like catch up, those are defeatist terms. Terms like left behind, those are defeatist terms. Anytime you embrace that ideology, you are accepting the fact that you are inferior, that your position is inferior, that you are indeed left behind, that you are indeed playing catch up, which means that you were never in the race in the first place. If you got to catch up, that means the race started without you. You're not going to get to the finish line before the people that already started the race, because they're flying. They racing each other. It ain't like they sitting up there, oh, everybody's just trying to pass us. No, they trying to race each other to get to the finish line. All of these things that we focus on are not the things that are going to bring us any light. And it's funny that so many men talk about money, money, money. Let's get more money. Let's do these things. Why is it that no one is talking about our relationship with the Most High? Half of these men don't even understand our relationship with the Most High. You understand? They don't understand it. So that's why they don't mention it or talk negatively about it. They either don't mention or they talk negatively about it because they don't understand. They've been brainwashed into believing that the color of your skin is not a hindrance to you reaching the top. It is a hindrance to you reaching the top. Hip hop's been around, man, about 40, almost 50 years. And we finally got one dude who's a billionaire, and he ain't even in that industry no more. He became a billionaire outside of that industry. Let's talk about all the money that was generated in that industry. What happened to that? Where's all that money? Something crazy like 78% of the athletes in the NBA are black. I think last time I saw LeBron James worth like $252 million. Oh, yes, a hell of a lot compared to us. But compared to the money that's being generated there. The most racist owner in the history of the league sold his team for $2 billion. He was still able to get $2 billion for a team with that history, with that ownership. Michael Jordan is the face of the league. They know they should remove Jerry West and put that little Jordan emblem. They know they should put that Jordan emblem as the league logo. They know they should do that, but they're not gonna do it because Michael Jordan is black. Yeah, he's Michael Jordan, but he's still black. He's only worth $1.6 billion. Nike gives that amount of money away in donations. Boys is caught up in the matrix out here. And let me tell you something else. Now, since we talk about the Most High, another lie that black men tell themselves is that Jesus, which is how that name is pronounced, is a Hispanic name, that Jesus has anything to do with our relationship with the Most High. I understand. You were raised in a Christian church. You simply cannot let that concept completely go. You got to hold on to some of it. You got to view yourself as less than a man of God. You got to view yourself as less than a descendant of the children of Israel. You have to view yourself as less than that. I understand. You can't let it go. But you crazy if you believe that that has anything to do with our relationship with the Most High. Our relationship with the Most High was established way back, homie. And we indeed, as a people, are his firstborn son. So if you're taking any of the concepts and precepts of Christianity and trying to add them to our understanding and belief in the Most High, then you are a fool. You are misleading the people. You have not been blessed with the wisdom, understanding, knowledge of the Most High like you think you have. You are spreading a lie. You are spreading a lie. That is what you're doing. If the shoe fit, put it on your foot. My loyalty is to the Most High. That's who my loyalty is to. And I will spit this real no matter how it makes you feel. And all you can do is deal. GM, what's good, brother? See, we got to understand this, man. See, being outside of the matrix is not just about picking and choosing what you're going to bring, what you're going to deliver yourself from thinking. You've got to kill all of those thoughts to start from square one. That's why you got to take the vow of the Nazarite. If you haven't taken the vow of the Nazarite, you are still kind of trapped in the matrix. You got to take the vow of the Nazarite, which means separating yourself from the things of the world and becoming one with the ways of the Most High. That is the only way you can fully cleanse yourself from the brainwashing that is taking place in your life. If you haven't taken the vow of the Nazarite, you are not fully cleansed from your matrix way of thinking. You are not fully cleansed. You cannot be. So a lot of this is just talk. Everybody wants to believe they're outside of the matrix. No, when you truly get outside of the matrix, there are some things you are just gonna forego. There are some things you're not going to accept in your life. And we won't get into all of those things here. I'll do a dedicated video to that. Probably be some Patreon junk, because that's too much games that drop over here. Cats out here believing that the game ain't to be sold. Most of these boys are anti-black men. They're just black men, so it's hard to believe that a black man is anti-black man. But most of these cats are pro-self, but they're anti-black man. They're anti-us. Anytime a man, every time he opens his mouth, he talking about other black men, he's anti-black man. The same way we could say that anytime a man opens his mouth and he talking then about black women, he anti-black woman. How can you call a man anti-black woman when all he talk about is black women, then all you talk about is black men, and not call yourself anti-black man? You can't heal people by stabbing them with a knife. The principle goes both ways. When the last time you seen a man get healed by being shot? You shoot the man, then hide the bandages. Yeah, we're going to get some straightening in here today, man. And this ain't finna be no back and forth. Oh, no YouTube. Oh, no rah, rah, rah. I ain't finna do none of that with now one of these clowns. I'm going to say what I'm going to say. And when I say what I say, that's the final word on it as far as I'm concerned. Once I say what I say, you ain't got nothing to say because I don't want to hear it. You been talking. And you ain't been saying nothing. Now, don't try to come up with a bright idea because you can respond to the eloquence of my statements, because you can respond to the full intellectual capacity of Dr. BoA, and now you got something good to talk about. Fine, but I ain't going to listen to it. Let me put this Patreon link in here for the homie, man. So, I say, man, we have got to understand, man, that None of us are so righteous and so holy that we don't need to be held to tags, that we don't need to be called to tags, that we don't need to have our feet placed on the fire, man. All of us need to do that. None of us are perfect. None of us are even close. And that's the reality of it, man. Another thing is this, man. We got to stop saying crazy stuff like our women are the backbone of our community. We're going to visit this one for a minute. Our women are the backbone of our community. Boy, you can't stand up without your backbone. You can't bend over without your backbone. You can't reach up without your backbone. You can't look up without your backbone. You can't raise your hands without your backbone. You can't move your legs without your backbone. If you ain't got no backbone, your little wee-wee ain't gonna even work. Our women are our backbone? What other race of men do you hear say something so crazy that we can't do anything without our women? Our women are our backbone. They're the cornerstone of our community. That's why the hell we in the shape we in right now. Because we reduced ourselves to being a race of men who view their women as the backbone of their community, as the strong point of their community. No other race of men anywhere worships their women. The more powerful a society is, the less they worship their women. The weaker a society is, the more they worship their women. It is not a show of strength to hide behind your woman. If you say your woman is your backbone, man, you are hiding behind the strength of your woman. That's why everything that represents blackness in this country is feminine. Our women are our strong points, and we accept that, embrace that, and perpetuate that. And you think you're a good guy for doing that? Fine, be a good guy. I don't want to be a good guy. I want to be a warrior for the Most High. Our women are the backbone of our community. You say that, then you got the audacity to talk bad about Derrick Jackson. Why you around here talking about women are the backbone of our community? You're saying the same thing he's saying. You just ain't saying a slick enough way to make no money off of it. Ralph Visions, I appreciate the $5 super chat, brother. Ralph said, highly appreciate the knowledge you're dropping. What's your Patreon name? I had a hard time trying to find it yesterday. AVP Lifestyle was good, brother. All right, here we go right here, man. This is the Patreon link right here. Patreon link is the same as YouTube channel, man. Book of AlphaRonomy. But there's the link right there, man. There is no way that we as a group of men can be proud of the fact that we have to stand in a room with other men. You know what other men say? You know what white men say? Well, our generational wealth is, the cornerstone of our community. We continue to perpetuate our wealth and build our wealth and generate more wealth. And we continue to spread our wealth and expand our global reach, because of the wealth that was left to us by our forefathers and, the technology advances that we've made. We continue to build ourselves. You know what Asian men say? Well, we began with the trade with the U.S. and now that we become a stronger trade partner with most nations in the world than the U.S., now we can go anywhere in the world we want to and plant our feet there. You know what African men say? It is our culture. We are there because of our culture. Our culture makes us, we are the culturally richest country around. That's just what we are. You know what Jamaican men say? Yeah, man, it's a Rastafari, we come here, white man no run here, right man no run way. We are take one, and we take one for the team, You know what black men in America say? Our women are our backbone. The cornerstone of our community is our women. That's why we're laughed at. That's why nobody respects us. That's why nobody looks at us as a damn threat. You can't be a threat when you're going out to the world saying, well, we're men. Look how big and strong we are. We're bigger and stronger than you are. We're more athletic than you are. We're more intellectually sound than you are. Hey, we can make something out of nothing. But our women are our strong suit. You can't even come to the meeting in the rest of the world with your woman as your strong suit. They don't even allow you through the door. They tell the guards at the door, don't let no black American men in here. They are not worthy. They are weak. Another thing is this. Now, since we're talking about women, let me tell you something right now. Because I got a little situation, man, recently with this right here. You think you've accomplished something by making a woman who was another man's trash your treasure. You really believe in that mindset. Well, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Well, that means your treasure is very low standard. You ain't find a treasure. Your treasure is just trash. Let me tell you something right now. It ain't no thing to be proud of if you got access to a woman that really want another man. That ain't nothing to be proud of. That's why I tell these men about this legal marriage thing. If a woman want to marry you legally, like the homie Ice Turner would tell you all the time, you are not her choice. Professor MGTOW says this a lot as well. If she wants to marry you, you are not her choice. You are her safety net. So if you got access to a woman that really want another man and you know she want another man, you think you won something? You brag about that? You think you've accomplished something? That's how I know the majority of y'all ain't got access to no women. Y'all ain't even got no experiences with women, man. It ain't even about having a lot of women. It's about having experiences with them. Y'all suckers ain't even got no experiences, man. You're becoming an emotional sponge for a woman that really wants somebody else. And you proud of that. I'm talking about, man, you proud of that. You brag about it. Like you tell people about it like you've done something. You ain't did nothing at all. And this happens a lot, man. There's a lot of these old suckers around here, man, that truly believe that, well, that's a, it's if you didn't want the good woman, I'll take her. I'll take her. Obviously, if the man didn't want her, maybe she ain't as good as you think she is. And let me tell you something else that goes along with this. And I say this all the time. If you believe that a woman will tell you the truth about her experiences with another man, then you're a bigger fool than you look like. But she could tell you that because you Captain Saver. You got your superhero cape on, man. You got the little CS on your chest for Captain Saver. You know what I'm saying? You fly around in the air with a bouquet of roses and a box of heart-shaped candy. And that's what you fly around with, looking for somebody to save. And when the women see you with that, they know they can tell you. They gonna work it on you. They gonna get more sympathy out of you so you can give them flowers and that candy and then go somewhere and buy them a nice little bracelet and the matching necklace with it. You understand? That's the type of sucker you are. But you probably the same type of sucker that don't understand who you are as a black man. You the same type of sucker that's frustrated with your position in life and don't know what to do to change it. If you come over here and listen to me, homie, with an open mind, I'm going to enhance your life over here. Because I'm telling you some grown man talk. All that emotional stuff out of it. I'm telling you some grown man talk. If you ain't applied it to your life already, apply it to your life and watch how fast your life changes. If you have applied it to your life, then you can vouch for what I'm saying. That this information is life altering, man. Every time I come on here and open my mouth, I'm going to give you something life altering. It ain't gonna never be no dumb talk that ain't gonna benefit nobody. It ain't gonna never be no all-out attack on nobody. Cause even when I had to get at somebody, it's in the midst of me giving up some knowledge. I don't do that. It's unfair for me to come on here if I ain't got no knowledge to share, man. It's unfair. Yeah, I agree with that, SO Story. When cats you put women on a channel and you ask them questions, they know they on a platform. They can see how many people watching in the chat. They've already looked at your channel and know how many people gonna come watch on the playback. You think they finna sit and keep it 100 about? Now, there's some groups of women you can. You understand? But you got to be man enough to pull it out of them. You got to be man enough to sit there and call them on their bull. But the problem is, if you trapped in the matrix mindset, you can't call them out of their bull. So the very men we shun in this society are the men who are the least caught up in the matrix. You find a man that's been running in the streets, man, for the majority of his life, or he done been to prison, or he done, had to deal with the laws in some other kind of way, man. He done been shot and had to sit down, or likely to be trapped in the matrix. That's why you don't hear a whole lot of matrix talk from over here. Kevin Kent Jr., what up, 2KJ? Appreciate the $5 super chat, brother. Homie said, BoA, kick that knowledge. I adopt the alpha principles in my life because I'm beta, striving to be better. That's it, brother. You know, that truth of life, that acceptance of the reality of your life, man, is the first sign that you're taking control of your own life. Primal Fitness, I appreciate the $2 super chat, bro. So we sit around, man, you got a lot of cats out here, man, that don't know nothing. They hurt, they angry. They feeling some kind of way about their lives, and all they know to do is lash out at other black men because the black man they really hate is the one that's looking at them in the mirror every day. But they done already spent their whole life lashing out at themselves, living reckless, doing all types of things to show themselves that I don't like you, I don't care about you. You know, it's a hell of a thing for a man to look in the mirror and tell the man in the mirror, I don't love you. Think about that, man. When you got to look at the man in the mirror and tell the man, I hate you, that's strong right there, brothers. That is strong. That's why a lot of time I hear these little cats around here, man, shooting their little shots, but I understand, man, that you are mentally and emotionally disturbed. I understand that you have problems. And I will not be so pompous and so arrogant, so self-serving, that I will dump on the mentally disturbed and mentally challenged. I pray for the mentally disturbed and mentally challenged. That's what I do. I beseech the word in the hand of the Most High to heal you. Because nothing I can say about you and tearing you down is going to make your situation better. You're already down low enough. You don't love yourself. And I wish you would. I pray that you will heal enough to love yourself, where you don't find yourself out here seeking the love of these women all the time. Always talking about, and pretty much saying, I need love, I need love, I need love. Any woman that's out there, please, if you'll love me, come to me. You sound crazy talking like that on a public platform. But you don't even know how mentally disturbed you sound. It's obvious you have issues to anyone who has a trained eye. So that's why I don't say nothing to these dudes, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to attack a man who's mentally disturbed, man. I'm against that. I'm against that. My father was affected by Agent Orange in Vietnam. So I have anybody that has any issue, man, you know, with like that, man, I don't want to attack that person or dump on that person at all. Another thing, another lie that we tell ourselves as black men is that we can control any dynamic in this society except our interaction with one another. As a black man, there ain't nothing you can control in this society except how you deal with other black men. You can't control nothing else. You can't control what happened when you go in the bank. You can't control what happened when the IRS send you a tax bill. You can't control what happened when you get in your car and you see the lights flat, the burps and cherries behind you. Burps and cherries, the burps, and the cherries are the lights on top of the squad car. When the burps and cherries get behind you, you can't control that. All you can do is decide whether you're going to go out like a soldier or you're going to be a law-abiding citizen. But the outcome of that, either way, you can't control it. Because the outcome can be the same whether you go out like a soldier or you're a law-abiding citizen. What can we control when we had to watch a man get choked out on the sidewalk? Choked out. Killed in front of us on the sidewalk. When we watched a young boy walking away from a cop and get aired out, shot in the back, and flop on the ground like a rag doll. These are the types of things that we have to watch. We can't control nothing. We can't get no justice for the parents. We can't get no justice for the family. We can't get no prison time for the cops that do it. And we talking about what we control. Hey man, you got to pay a bill for water. The earth's surface is 75% water, and you got to pay a bill to use the water on God's green earth. Think about that, man. In most places, you can't even grow, you can't even raise animals. You can't even control what's put in the food you eat. You could go and buy something with a label on it that says organic or grass-fed, but is it really organic or grass-fed? Most men don't live somewhere where they can go to a farm and buy a cow. I fortunately am not far away from where I can go buy a cow. Matter of fact, I can go in any direction and buy a cow if I want a cow. You can't even determine if your corn is GMO or not. You can't even force them to do fair labeling on your food. See, these are the type of things that we're talking about, man. You don't have no control in this society as a black man. All you can control is your interaction with one another. That's why we always killing each other. Because we can't take our anger out on nobody else. You can try to take your anger out on a black woman if you want to. Y'all ain't going to prison. The person that you're most likely to get away with murdering is another black man. I say that again. The person you're most likely to get away with murdering or hurting in any kind of way is another black man. That goes to show you how much your control matters in this society. That's all you can control. Nothing else. You can't control the laws. Do you not understand that all these states that have legalized marijuana, all it takes is for the federal government to make it illegal in the country? The federal government can come down right now because still, as far as the feds go, marijuana is still a controlled substance. The feds could literally come into a dispensary and give you a federal charge in the dispensary because the state has legalized it, has made it legalized recreational. The federal government has not. Think about that. So even with that, you can't control that. You could be doing something legal in your state and still go to prison and get fed time. GMB, what's good, brother? Salute to you, my brother. Appreciate the $5 super chat. Hey, man, somebody said they took your main channel down, bro. KZ, I appreciate the $10 super chat, brother. So ain't no control in this society, man. So when you think about we have no control, how can we compete financially when we have no control? We can chase all the money in the world, but we can't even control the monetary value of it. You see what I'm saying? These are the things that we're dealing with in this particular society, man. How can we catch up when we can't control nothing? See, white men control something. That's why they can be ahead. They control everything. We don't control the laws. Hey, man, listen, you can't even determine who gets hired as your police chief. You can't even determine who gets voted in as your mayor. All you can do is vote. You can't even control how the votes are tallied. You don't have any control. All of your control is rendered over to those who are in control of the society. So your vote is cast and they are left to count the votes and tally them. All you can do is vote. But you can't even determine if your vote even matters, man. No doubt, brother. Don't let them get you down, GMB. Like even that. Let's talk about that right now. The brother GMB in here, channel flag down. And these cats on here talking about, well, I'm going to say this. Everybody should be doing this on this platform. Man, we don't even own this platform. And whoever said we all got to do the same thing, there's more information to talk about than just what you want to talk about. There's men out here that contemplating suicide today. And you want me to talk about what you talking about? There's men out here with issues in this world, man. See, that's another lie that we tell ourselves, that we all got to do the same thing. Well, let me tell you this. Let's say we all do the same thing. How we ever gonna build a society? Even if we could build a society, hypothetically, we build a society in this country. How we gonna do that if we all doing the same thing? What if all of us are politicians? Then who gonna run the police department? Who gonna run the fire department? Who gonna manufacture the food? Well, who gonna run the food processing companies? Who gonna grow the food? Who gonna do all of this? Who gonna secure our land? Who gonna build the houses? Who gonna build the roads? Who gonna do all of this? Who gonna handle our trades? You understand? Who gonna make sure we get gas into our gas stations? Who gonna take care of all that? Not us, because we all politicians. Or we all policemen. Or we all firemen. Or we all basketball coaches. We ain't got to be doing the same thing, man. Ever. Another thing is this, man. And this right here gonna hurt some brothers. We feel like Black Lives Matters includes black men. It doesn't. See, we're in a precarious position where black lives only matter to us, but we hate black men. Black men's lives only matter to black men, but black men hate black men. So every time you hear two black men going back and forth like they hate each other, that's the equivalent of mental and emotional murder being committed. See, all murder isn't physical. You don't have to kill a man's physical body to murder him, to murder his spirit, to murder his drive, to murder his focus, to murder his determination, to murder any of that. I'm going to repeat what I said. Black men's lives only matter to black men, but black men hate black men. A black man can't stand for another black man to say something, he want to kill him. He want to do something to him immediately. Like, how dare you say something to me, black man? Do you understand I am a black man? We have so much anger and angst about the things we've dealt with in this society, and we can't take it out on nobody but ourselves. And then we talking about we ain't gonna turn to the Most High. How come? Ain't no other way to deliver yourself, black man. You can't compete financially. You can't compete politically. You can't compete in the educational system. You can't compete in none of that. Only thing you compete in is your relationship with the Most High. And you don't want to capitalize on that because you brainwashed into believing that you compete in those other arenas. Okay, we've been competing in those other arenas. It ain't nothing that's taking place now that ain't been taking place the entire time that we've been here. How come we ain't making no leeway? How come we ain't catching up, as they like to say? How come we still so far behind? How come everybody else still expanding and growing except us? How come we still the one busting down the penitentiary doors? How come we still the one creating all these out-of-wedlock children? And let me tell you something about out-of-wedlock children. Out-of-wedlock children ain't a bad thing if you stay active in your child's life. You can still do that because technically speaking, this whole concept of us all living under one roof and being in that same roof for the entire day and eating dinner together and all that, man, that's a whitewashed version of the black family. The black family ain't supposed to be like that. That ain't how black men supposed to live. We supposed to be taking care of things. We supposed to be handling business. Because technically speaking, when your woman is on her cycle, she's supposed to be separated from the house anyway. She's supposed to have her own quarters of separation. And not just a room in the house. She's supposed to be away from the house in her own quarters of separation where she can live in. She still got to live for all those days. She don't just stay bedridden. She still got to live for all those days. And everything that she touches and everything that she sits on and everything that she lays on is unclean. So how you going to manage that with your women sleeping in bed with you every night, fool? See, we getting deep into the word of the Most High now. They don't want to touch this part of it. You see, the bottom line is this right here, man. When black men compete with other black men, we're competing for the last spot. We're competing for last place. There ain't no black men in first place. There ain't no black men in second place. There ain't no black men in third place. We're in last place in every important statistical category in this country, every positive statistical category in this country. We're in last place. So anytime you find yourself competing with black men, fool, you're competing for last place. We the only ones who compete as individuals. That's how come we still back here. Because anytime we compete against each other, we ain't competing for no place of that resonates nowhere, that means anything. We competing for last place. It ain't no black man in this country you can beat at anything that's going to put you in first place in this society. We ain't in first place. But we've been reduced to competing with one another because deep down inside, we know we can't compete with white men. We know we can't compete with Asian men. We know we can't compete with all these Indian men, all these Arab men and all that. We know we can't compete with them. And all you got to do is go in your damn neighborhood and see all the businesses they got in there and realize you ain't got none in there. All you got to do is look at your police force. You in a predominantly black area, and out of the 50 or out of the 100 cops that work that area, only 15 of them black. Don't try to lie to you. You can't lie to me. You can keep lying to yourself, but we're going to speak truth into power today. As Ringo like to say, we're going to speak truth into power. We are no competition in this society. No other race of men looks at us as competition. No other race of men believes that we are competition. They laugh at us. As black men, we are the laughing stock of this society. No matter what sector you go in, we are the laughing stock. You think those professional sports team owners, man, don't sit back, man, and look at each other and say, man, you know, since I got this player, my ticket sales have gone up to... See, we don't think about this. Where a team, let's say the Cleveland Cavaliers, before they got LeBron James, they was having to give away tickets. They were selling tickets, buy one, get two free. They were selling front row seats, courtside seats for $10. They don't tell you how much, man, now my courtside seats are $1,500 from $10 a year ago. 3 years after LeBron got there, courtside seat, $1,500 from $10. And it's always packed. Even when it was $10, it wasn't never always packed. Now you got a full packed arena. You ain't got a $10 seat in the house nowhere. Cheapest seats, the nosebleed seats are $50. And the place packed every damn night that boy show his face in there. You don't think them owners sitting back chopping up about them numbers? You understand? They probably betting LeBron's yearly salary on who gonna make it to the damn NBA finals. But we ain't in that loop, so we don't understand what's going on. Great point, great point. Culture, mediocrity. Mediocrity and misery go hand in hand. Black men are miserable because we live a mediocre life. It don't matter if you got a few dollars, you still live a mediocre life. That's why the problem with black men is we only compare ourselves to those who are beneath us. So if a black man drives a Benz, he compares himself to the people who drive a Honda. When in all actuality, the Honda Accord is a better car than the Mercedes Benz. Unless when you get up into the AMGs and all that, then you were getting into something then. There are some models that's just top notch, but you got to pay, well over 100,000 for those models. And if you're gonna pay $100,000, you over $100,000, you might well start looking at some German engineering, some super fast, looking at something that can really roll. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Because when you compare yourself with those above you, you have to face your misery. That's why black men look at each other. We don't look at white men as our competition, because then we have to accept the fact that our ass is done. We don't look at Asian men as our competition, because then we have to accept the fact that our ass is done. We don't look at these Arab men and Indian men as our competition, because then we have to realize that our ass is done. We don't even look at these African immigrants as our competition. You know why? Because when we look at them, we have to realize, and it's even more painful when we look at them, because they black like us, and we still have to realize that our ass is done. All we could do is compete with each other, and we don't want to compete with each other. We want to shine on each other. We want to come around and stun on each other. Yeah, that's right. It's easy to do that as a way to make yourself feel better about the fact that you can't compete with the men that really matter in this society, as far as what matters in this particular society goes. And that's the bottom line, man. Another lie that we tell ourselves, man. Another lie that we tell ourselves, we got to stop telling ourselves, is that taking advantage of the poor and needy of your own people for financial gain is the route to anything other than continued self-destruction. That's all it is. See, we like to tell ourselves that, well, white men capitalize on the poor and needy. Yeah, nigga, they capitalize on your poor and needy. You understand? They don't have to capitalize on their own people. They capitalize on you. You're the only one fool enough to capitalize on your own people. You're the only one crazy enough to believe that oppressing your own people is the way out. It's kind of like D-boys believing that they can destroy the community and then turn around and give out turkeys for Thanksgiving and they doing a good deed. When you think about the concept that people will be okay with getting those turkeys on Thanksgiving as giving back, how in the hell you giving back to something you destroying with some damn turkeys? When you destroy this community so much, some of these people ain't even got nowhere to cook this turkey. They finna go sell it to somebody, so they can get some more of the poison that you contributed to your own community. It's crazy out here, man. I'm sick of black men acting like we have power, acting like you're in a prestigious position, acting like somebody should envy where the hell you are. Only the man who's living in the worst possible conditions in America should envy where you are. You are still in the position of a black man in America. That's no enviable. That's no enviable position. I don't look at that and say, "Ooh, I wish I could be there." Without the Most High, 50 years from now, we'll still be in the same predicament. And our children and grandchildren will still be on here having these same spats about what we need to do as black men. Well, we can take over. We can compete. We could take this world from them. You can't take this society from them, man. Do you know how many wars that this society has fought? You know how many wars this government has fought? How many countries have been destroyed for this government to be in this position? Do you understand how much money the International Monetary Fund has? We ain't gonna get into that. My bad. I'm going too deep. This ain't for that. I save some of that content for Patreon, man. I got some deep stuff I'm gonna start sharing with y'all over there, man. I like some stuff I can't talk about here, man. That stuff, it ain't safe to talk about certain things here. But ain't no competition with the people who own the shit. How are you gonna compete with the people who own things? It's crazy, man. It's not the same as a slave revolt. We just gonna raise up and fight. Cause yeah, that's a physical fight. We can go hand in hand. We talking about a financial fight right here, man. Anywhere you go put your money, it's owned by the very same people you competing with. It's hard to compete with somebody who can house their money where they own everything. And then you got to house your money in the same place where they own everything. Come on, brothers. Let's be realistic. We ain't got sense enough to pool our resources and just buy enough stocks to, as a group, we establish an investment company together. And as an investment company, we have enough money to buy enough shares of stock in any company where that has that many shares available. We just buy it just to own it. We ain't even got to buy it low. Let's buy it high. Let's just buy it so we can own it. Well, don't necessarily buy it high. I ain't saying buy it at the tip top. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying that the most important thing is that we own it. Is that we own something that's being publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange. Is that we own one of these insurance companies. Why don't niggas own Blue Cross Blue Shield or an equivalent? Why don't we own a United Healthcare or an equivalent? Because we're not competing with the men who are at the top. We are competing with each other. Anything we talk about on this level is peon shit compared to what everybody else is doing. And we ain't got to take those small steps. We taking them because we just want to be above our fellow black man. Another lie that we tell ourselves, man, is that not creating offspring is somehow a commendable thing to do. You know how disgusted I am, man, when I hear men promoting that you should not procreate? Let me tell you something right now. You can't accept that you 12% of the, it's 4%. Is it 4%? I gotta look that number up, man. Is it 4% or 12%? I ain't finna look it up right now. Both of them are low. I think black men are 4%, if I'm correct, of the population. How in the hell can someone that's 4% of the population say there's no need for us to procreate? Nigga, we almost extinct now. We're almost extinct now. How can you sit and say, let's not procreate when we're almost extinct now? You're pretty much saying, let's just make as much money as we can before we die out. Come on, man. Come on, man. We're almost extinct. And black men perpetuate this idiotic idea that we should not procreate. That's crazy to me, man. Now, you know what? I know that, but now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm thinking about it, man. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. Man, these cats are disgusting, man. These cats are disgusting, man. These cats are disgusting. Yeah, and that's a great point. That's a great point. A lot of times they say, well, you shouldn't procreate in poverty. Why in the hell are people still in poverty? Why in the hell is there still such a huge discrepancy in the amount of black people who are living under the poverty line versus everybody else? Why is that? Don't make no sense to me. Reginald Fields, I appreciate the $5 super chat, brother. Salute to you. See Douglas, my brother. What's good, bro? And you know what? It ain't even about building up the procreation, homie. It's about the cats who got money don't procreate. We ain't got no, man, bro. We about to be extinct. We can't paste no damn stipulations on procreation. We are about to be extinct. And here I just gave the number 4%. I want y'all brothers to feel what I'm saying. I want y'all brothers to feel what I'm saying. I just gave the number that black men represent 4% of the population in the United States. And y'all still making excuses about why we shouldn't procreate. Man, we about to die off. We ain't got time to worry about nothing. We are in an emergency situation to save ourselves before we're dead, homie. Before we don't exist anymore. Do you not understand the rate of abortion that they perpetuated amongst our women, man? This is by design to kill us off. If they kill us off, they never have to worry about us returning to the Most High. Why do you think they're trying to kill us off? We are already in the weakest position in the world. Think about this. When you've got somebody in the weakest position of the world, why are you still trying to kill them off? Why you still have this population control idea in out here? And then you convincing these fools that they should perpetuate it. If you're a black man and you perpetuating the population control concept, man, you are lost. How the hell are you perpetuating population control when you represent 4% of the population, man? That shit makes no sense to me, man. You know, we always talk about, man, like I see some cats in the chat, man, saying this thing, the Most High always retains a remnant. He didn't retain a remnant when he brought the children of Israel out of Egypt. He brought them all out. Why this whole maintain a remnant? He brought all of the children of Israel out. The whole crew came out. He didn't tell Moses, hey, I'm going to bring a certain amount of y'all out. Everybody else got to stay. That's another defeatist mentality that's perpetuated. Divide and conquer. If you live your life a certain way and you start to convince yourself that you're a part of the chosen few, God didn't tell us, man, we're his chosen people except for those over there. I'm going to pick a certain amount. Everybody whose name I call, you come over here and you part of my chosen people. If I don't call your name, you're just a nigga out here in the world. If I call your name, come over here, you're my chosen people. And he go down and list call names. That ain't how he did it. Anything that's determined to divide us is a tool of the divide and conquer methodology that they use to divide us, man. Renzel Jetson, man, appreciate the $5 super chat, bro. Homicide, feel like real estate is the way we can begin to compete with the rest of society. All we have to do is work together and have one common goal. You know, I can go for that, brother, but the most expensive real estate, we ain't gonna have access to it. The most profitable real estate, I mean. You know what I'm saying? The real estate with the most upside, we're not gonna have access to it. I don't give a damn how much money we come with. I guarantee they ain't gonna let us buy no property out in Malibu. They're gonna stop that shit. They are gonna stop the sale. So we can't buy enough of these little small houses in our area. Like for the most part, we always live in the areas with the least property value. It don't matter if you buy 100 houses in an area that's got low property value. You can't compete when they own the fucking civic center in your city. See, we looking at residential property. Residential property is not what those people compete in. They compete in commercial property. I heard a study a while back, man, that Professor Migtow repeated this on his Instagram, man. McDonald's is in real estate. They just happen to sell hamburgers at their real estate. McDonald's own more real estate than anybody else in this country. McDonald's. Now think about, when I say McDonald's, you think about burgers. You know why? Because that's what they want you to think. They don't want you to understand about commercial real estate. Look at these stadiums that are being built. They about to move the Raiders to Las Vegas. You think somebody black gonna build that stadium and own that land that stadium on? You think somebody black own that land that the Raiders are gonna buy and build a stadium on? No. You think somebody black own any of them casinos lining that damn strip? No. We too far away from everybody else to compete in real estate, man. You cannot catch up with somebody that got a 400-year head start on you. All we can do is turn to the Most High. That's all we can do is turn to the Most High. Ain't nothing else we can do. That's it. Ain't nothing else we can do. Hey, yo, man, GMB's got a new channel, man. Y'all click on the dots beside his name right there, man, and go subscribe to his new channel, man. They've, you know, some haters have doxed his old channel out of here, man. So y'all go ahead, man, and y'all go ahead and do that, man. Go subscribe to the brother, man. He gonna stay up, man, and keep it moving, man. So y'all go ahead and do that. We got to remember, man, that the Most High told us our punishment, we would be scattered around the corners of the earth. No black man on this country is our enemy. No black man in this world is our enemy. And we sit here and we enemies to ourselves in here. I'm telling you, we got to understand, why don't black folks in other areas of the world like us? Because they know that we're the key. They know that we're the key to bringing us back to the Most High. And they see us over here being brainwashed. being taught to step and fetch with whatever these people want to perpetuate amongst our people, man. David Little, appreciate the $2 super chat, brother. Home said, I'm tired of hating black women. Just want to live. Me too, man. Listen, I don't understand how you hate black women. No man should hate black women. Let me put something on y'all mind right now. Everybody in here, man, that realize that you've been brainwashed by this system, and you still in some ways caught up in it, whether it's working a job or whether it's, got all your money tied up in a bank or, whatever it is. How many of us in here, man, realize that we've been brainwashed and we still are trying to figure our way out of this brainwashing? Just put a 1 in the chat, man. I'll be the first one to put my 1 in there. Everybody put a 1 in the chat, man, if you realized, if you understand that you've been trapped in the matrix your whole damn life. Everything you thought was perpetuated in a way to make you think it was the way it was supposed to be. You're being abused by cops. You're going to poor quality schools. You grew up just thinking that was your life. That's what it was supposed to be. You know this. We all feel the same way. Now let me ask y'all this. If we the men and we supposed to be the strong ones, how can we give ourselves this pass, give ourselves this benefit of the doubt, and then look at our woman and call them stupid? Call them weak. Point out they fucking flaws all the time when we know we've been brainwashed. Now, if we've been brainwashed, that means we ain't been able to lead them the way the Most High want us to. So why in the hell can't we accept that they've been brainwashed too? We still brainwashed, and we don't even reap no benefits for being brainwashed. They brainwashed, and they reap hella benefits for being brainwashed. You see, as men, you don't blame your women for what the hell is going on. That's not what men do. We take the leadership role. Leaders don't blame people for what go on. Leaders take the good and the bad. That's why when the New England Patriots lose, it's Tom Brady getting old. Bill Belichick losing his touch. When the New England Patriots win, Brady and Belichick do it again. But you know what? They take the good and the bad. We can't point the finger at our women who've been brainwashed by the same system that brainwashed us when we know for a fact that we've been brainwashed our damn selves and having the toughest time in the world overcoming it. It irks me, man. It irks me when I hear black men do that. But I don't go and say, hey, we got to save our women. I say we got to save ourselves. We got to save ourselves and become the men that the Most High put us here to be. I promise you, if we become the men we're supposed to be, our women are going to fall in line and follow us. They're going to fall in line and follow us. They're just like us. We didn't follow God. That's why we followed this system. Hey, they followed the system too. If you don't follow God, the only thing left for you to follow is the system. So that's why I don't resonate with content that's always talking about, the shape that the women are in. I'm going to be honest with you. Rather than talking about our women for the shape they in, we should be embarrassed that under our protection in this country, because our women and our children are under our protection. Just like white women and white children are under the white man's protection. Just like Asian women and Asian children are under Asian men protection. Just like Indian women and Indian children are under Indian men protection. Just like Jamaican women and Jamaican children are under the Rastafari protection. Our women and children are under our protection. So whatever befalls them, it falls back on our inability to stay one with God and therefore be worthy of being protectors and leaders of our people. People ask me what happened to the black community. Nigga, we happened to the black community. Our inability to follow the Most High. Our inability to shun the brainwashing. Our inability to stop thinking with our woods. Our inability to stop worrying about material goods. Our inability to stop trying to live and think and be like the other men of this society. Our women and children have been victimized because of our inability to be men of God. We were not there to protect our women and children from the attacks of this society. They attacked us first. See, you got to think about this. The black family unit didn't break down when black men were strong. The black family unit broke down when black men took the bait and started to focus on other things. When black men shunned the Most High. When black men said, hey, we want to be integrated into your society. Why can't we hang out with you? Why can't we come to your neighborhood? We want our children to go to school with your children. Integration ruined the nation, brothers. And black men were front and center. You see, that was a time when the system didn't have access to our women. But when we went out, and let me tell you what happened. I'm going to break this down to y'all, man. Right quick. We ain't going to stay on it too long. You see, that was a point when black women were fully 100% supportive of everything that black men did. Everything. But when we started thinking integration, we saw an opportunity for us. Not our women now. We forgot all that, hey, black power shit. We forgot all that. We said we saw opportunity for us as black men to cross over to the other side. That's when we started trying to compete. But we forgot about our women and children. So you know what happened with our women and children? The same thing that happens whenever you leave your women without your guidance. They're going to be taken any which way. That's how they ended up supporting the feminist movement. That's how they ended up getting called over there, because they got left behind. They got left behind, and at the same time, the white feminist movement looked over there and said, hey, what are y'all doing over there, little black girls? Did your man leave you, that mean old black man left you over here by yourselves? Well, let me tell you, that mean old white man has left us by ourselves for a long time. Now, they've been trying to ignore us, but you seem kind of angry. And you are so eloquently spoken. You want to join over here with us? And we'll let you get everything you need to get off your chest. And I just love your afro hair. I mean, it stands out from the crowd. They can't ignore us anymore with that afro hair out there. The little fist thing, yeah, keep doing the little fist thing. We like that. That represents power. But instead of just being black power for your black man who's abandoning you, it's going to be woman power now. Come on over here, little girl. Are you hungry? Come on. We'll get you some nice clothes and give you a nice place to stay. Now, you can't let that mean old black man come back anymore now. We're not going to fight for him now. That's what happened. We were gone. She couldn't seek our guidance anymore. We were too busy focusing on ourselves. We were too busy going over there trying to build something. We finally, as black men, had the opportunity to stand up and be free. And you know what we did? We forgot about the Most High. We forgot about our women. We forgot about our children. And now, after all these years of dealing with the chickens coming home to roost, now we want to sit and point the finger all the damn time. You know what? It's a travesty. It's a slap in the face to the Most High. That black men, we talk all this power, all this strength, all this everything. And then all we sit and do is turn around, man, and point the finger at our women every day. Man, there's at least 25 content creators, man, that every time they drop, man, they talk shit about black women. At least 25. At least 25. But they'll never talk about the history of it. They'll never talk about how our women being abandoned left them at the mercy of the same system that tricked us into believing that integration was a good thing. So everybody who put a 1 in the chat, what you just did is admit to yourself that you accept the fact that your woman is the way she is because she's been brainwashed. Because how dare you admit that your ass been brainwashed and not accept the fact that she been brainwashed too. And the same way you struggling to come out of your brainwashing right now, she ain't even trying to come out of hers because hers is good for her. You see, the modern black woman doesn't remember a time when things were good between black men and black women. They don't remember that time. All they have to go by is the brainwashed version of the black man. And you know damn well that we as black men have our own problems with the brainwashed version of black men. We know this. So it's time for black men to stand up and start thinking like leaders. And that starts with stop believing your woman is the backbone of your community. You cannot believe that if you ain't strong enough to avoid the brainwashing that your woman is. You hurt, man. You hurt and you sad and you flabbergasted by the fact that you've been brainwashed for so long, that your parents were brainwashed, that your grandparents were brainwashed. But none of that matters, man. Only thing that matters now is we understand what's going on, man, and we realize that we need to make a difference. And nobody can do it but us. So this whole not creating offspring thing, man, and then you think about this. We don't want to create black children. Black women want to create mixed children. Do you not see that this system has pit us against our women and pit our women against us? I'm tired of y'all acting like y'all don't see that. We got to get back to the Most High, man. We can't continue to perpetuate this thing that's been taught to us by this brainwashing. We think because we call ourselves red pill, or we no longer in the matrix. If you attack black women, your ass is still in the matrix, because whatever you feel toward them was perpetuated and created by the brainwashing. You have not fully retrained your brain to understand that everything you think is based on the brainwashing. It's kind of like the Most High. It's kind of like when the Most High said, "Don't oppress the stranger among you, who wants to come in and live by the word of the Most High and live righteously, lest thou forget that thou was a stranger in Egypt." Don't look out and think oppressive thoughts toward black women, because they don't own nothing, just like we don't. They don't own the social media. They don't own the perpetuation of the ideology. They don't own the whole thing. They can't control what celebrity is in the forefront perpetuating what terminology and what ideology. Now we get into frequencies and vibrations, and how the music and the cadence of the music and the speed of the music and all of that is coupled with these ideas to make them easier to digest from the brain. Then we're not going to get into that. You understand? There's a couple of brothers that talk about that a lot, man. There's a few brothers out here that talk about that a lot, and I'm not going to get into that, because for me, that ain't just something I want to talk about on YouTube. Another lie is that every goal, accomplishment, and movement has to be prefaced with black. Black lives matter. The black men only, the black manosphere, the black this, the black that. Let me tell you something. It shows a sign of weakness. It shows a sign of how much we've devalued ourselves as men, that as black as we are, we still have to label every damn thing we do as black. Don't you think people see we niggas? You don't think they can tell we black? Don't you think they can tell that? And it's never anything that matters. Never anything that's important, that's powerful, that's positive. Let's take, for example, the world richest man announcement that they make every year. The richest man in the world. They never say that Warren Buffett is the richest white man in the world. They never show that them chic oil tycoons over there in Abu Dhabi are defined by race. Black folks are the only one who accept being defined by race and perpetuate being defined by race. It's a slap in the face. Black History Month. All of your history is crammed into a month that's determined by the word black. And you're happy about that. Black Music Month. You're happy about that. All music is based on black music. There is no form of music we listen to today that is not based on black music, that is not founded in black music. Black. And for your information, like the homie said, black ain't even a race, man. Black is a color. And most of us ain't black, we brown. That don't make sense to me, man. Everything don't have to be prefaced with black. How come I can't just be a man? It's different. We won't preface it with Israelite. We put Hebrew, them old Hebrew Israelite niggas. We won't preface ourselves with Hebrew or Israelite, but we'll preface ourselves with black. Now, let's look at this. That was a time, now it says black African descent. That was a time when you look at an application or anything like that, and it would say Caucasian, black, it would say Native American / Indian, and it would say Hispanic. Or then it say Pacific Islander and all that. But black was the only slot that just had black on there. Think about that. Anytime, and shout out to the Homer Chronicles of Judah, man, for always saying the so-called black man. Anytime you label yourself black, it's a detachment from your culture, from your history. Close your eyes. What do you see? Nothing but blackness. Black is a blot. That's what it is. It's meant to blot. It's like an ink blot. It's meant to blot out your connection to your cultural past. That's really what it is, man. Now, the last thing, man, the last lie that I want to cover in here, I could have made this list 20 to 50 long. But the last lie I want to cover here, man, is that our women need to be healed. Is that our women need to be healed. Healed. As if they're sick. As if they're injured. As if they're on their deathbed. As if they're mentally challenged. As if all of these things, they are sick. They need to be healed. Our women don't need to be healed. They need to be led. They don't need to be healed. They're not sick. They're misguided. They need leadership. They need guidance. They are not broken. They are lost. Sometimes when you're lost, you feel like you're broken because you don't know where you're going. And that's a broken place to be. They need to be guided. They need to be led. They need to be able to look at black men and say, there are our leaders. And it takes more than just popping off the mouth on a social media platform.